Welcome to Power Plays Network, where history's greatest power moves come to life. If you want to master strategy, influence, and success, hit that subscribe button and like this video. Let's dive in.
Introduction. John Gotti was more than just a mob boss. He was a larger-than-life figure whose power, charisma, and strategic ruthlessness made him an icon of organized crime. Known as the Teflon Don for his uncanny ability to evade convictions, Gotti embodied many of the principles laid out in Niccolò Machiavelli's The Prince. The Italian Mafia, particularly the Gambino family under Gotti's leadership, embraced Machiavellian strategies, ruling with a combination of fear, loyalty, and deception. But as with all power plays, even the most formidable empire can crumble from within. This deep dive into John Gotti's power strategies will reveal how he built an empire, maintained his iron grip, and ultimately, where his Machiavellian mastery failed him. Part 1. The Rise, Gotti's Path to Power. John Gotti was born into a world where power was taken, not given. Raised in the rough streets of the Bronx and later Brooklyn, he was drawn into the criminal underworld at an early age. He climbed the ranks of the Gambino crime family, one of the 5 families of the New York Mafia. But his rise was not just about brute force, it was strategic. Machiavellian principle number 1. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Gotti understood this lesson well. In the Mafia, power was not granted based on seniority or loyalty alone. It was seized through a show of strength and ruthless efficiency. Gotti eliminated Paul Castellano, the then head of the Gambino family, in a brazen hit outside Sparks Steakhouse in 1985. This move sent a message: Gotti was not to be underestimated. His ability to command respect through a mixture of charm and intimidation made him a formidable leader. Part 2. The Teflon Don. Gotti's rule over the Gambino family. Once at the helm of the Gambino family, Gotti ruled with an iron fist while presenting himself as an untouchable public figure. He dressed impeccably, gave the media sound bites, and basked in his celebrity status, a stark contrast to the traditional low-profile mafia bosses before him. Machiavellian principle number 2. A prince never lacks legitimate reasons to break his promises. Gotti's rule was marked by betrayal and deception. Loyalty in the Mafia was expected, but Gotti knew that sometimes to maintain power, promises had to be broken. He manipulated alliances, took out rivals, and positioned himself as the face of the modern Mafia. But his most brilliant strategy was how he used the legal system against itself. Machiavellian principle number 3. One who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. Gotti earned the nickname Teflon Don because of his ability to dodge legal consequences. He bribed jurors, intimidated witnesses, and orchestrated mistrials. As a result, despite being indicted multiple times, convictions never stuck, until his eventual downfall. Part 3. The Cult of Personality. Gotti's media mastery. Unlike past mafia bosses who operated in the shadows, Gotti relished the spotlight. He understood the power of perception and wielded the media to his advantage. Machiavellian principle number 4. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. Gotti crafted an image of himself as a man of honor, a Robin Hood-like figure who provided for his community. While his public persona was one of charm and sophistication, behind closed doors, he ruled with an iron fist. His ability to manipulate public opinion shielded him from scrutiny for years. Part 4. The Fall. What went wrong? No empire lasts forever. Gotti's biggest mistake was breaking one of the most important Machiavellian principles. Machiavellian principle number 5. He who becomes master of a city accustomed to freedom and does not destroy it will lose it. Gotti allowed too many enemies to fester within his ranks. He grew too confident, making reckless decisions, and his overexposure in the media eventually made him a bigger target for law enforcement. His ultimate downfall came from within. His underboss, Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano, turned state's witness against him. Gravano, once one of Gotti's most loyal enforcers, betrayed him to save himself. In 1992, Gotti was finally convicted of murder and racketeering, receiving a life sentence. He died in prison in 2002. Conclusion: the legacy of John Gotti's power plays. John Gotti's rise and fall is a masterclass in Machiavellian strategy. His ability to use fear, deception, and public perception made him a powerful figure, but his ultimate failure was underestimating the loyalty of those closest to him. His story serves as a cautionary tale. Power acquired through ruthless means can only last so long before it invites an even more ruthless response. Would Gotti have survived longer if he had stayed in the shadows like his predecessors? Was his fall inevitable due to his hunger for attention? The power play of the Teflon Don remains one of the most fascinating case studies in organized crime history.
Power is everywhere, if you know where to look. Every move you make shapes your future. Learn the game, master the strategy, and rise above the rest. If you found value in today's power play, don't just watch, apply it. Hit that like button, subscribe to Power Plays Network, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new law of power in action. Your next move determines your destiny. Choose wisely.